Would you like to better understand where your ex is coming from? Let's talk about that here today. Hey folks, I am Jim Miller, helping you find and keep the love of your life and write a better love story. I'm going to ask, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, please. When you do that, tick the bell icon. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload new content. Also, I'd like to ask you to give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and check the description below the video for some free ebooks that I give away. First of all, I need to start off by apologizing. I have been gone for quite a while from the channel, and I do apologize. As you maybe can tell from the hairstyle, I was diagnosed with cancer back in early June, and I have been undergoing chemo and radiation, and I have every intention of beating this son of a bitch, but that's where I've been. Hopefully going forward, I'll be able to deliver some more content and help you with your problems with your ex. But today I want to talk about an exercise that will help you to better understand your ex or your current partner or future partners for that matter. One of the things that I've always been a big proponent of is working on yourself, not for your ex, not to try and lure your ex back in your life, but for you, to work on yourself to become a better version of you. It'll pay off in the long run whether you get back together with your ex or not. But this is an exercise that was given to me some time back. And I just want to pass this on. This will actually be part of, I'm working on a program to get your ex back, and really more to deal with the breakup and to work on yourself. But I'm working on a program, a video course that I'm going to publish later on this year, hopefully. And this will actually be part of the paid program. But I kind of wanted to just touch base and let you know where I am with this. So let's go right into this. Now, I hear a lot of people complaining, and a lot of people from emails that I get and from phone calls that I take. I hear a lot of people that are complaining, my ex just doesn't understand me, or I just don't understand them, or whatever. And it's difficult. Communication is key, and you need to be able to understand where your ex is coming from. So here's something that I want you to do, and I want you to take your time with this. This is not something you can sit down and knock out in 15 minutes and, oh, hey, I'm done with it. No, this is something you really need to take some time with. You really need to dig deep, and you really need to come up with some good, solid answers. But the first step that I would ask you to do is to sit down, take a piece of paper and a pen, yes, that again, and actually write down all the arguments that you have had with your ex. They could be arguments, they could be just disagreements, they could just be, friction areas in your relationship where you've had some friction, things that you don't necessarily see eye to eye on. I'll give you an example of one. My ex and I, or actually my girlfriend and I, when she was my ex, one of the things that was always an issue is leaving the toilet seat up. My attitude's like, hey, you know what, if it's up, put it down if you need it down. But something like this. So this was a bone of contention. This was a friction point in there. Another thing, she is a single mother. And there were some things there. Obviously, you're dating a single mother or a single father. Their kids need to come first. You need to understand that. But write down, take a piece of paper and a pen, and write down all the arguments that you have had over the last however long you've been together. 10, 15 arguments. Don't just write down 3 or 4 things that you had last week. I mean, go back to the beginning or early on in the relationship and try and remember all of those things, and write down a fair amount of detail if you can, what the argument was about and whatnot like that. But make a list of those. Once you make that list, I want you to take a little time and reflect. Don't sit there and just jump right into step 2. Actually take some time and kind of get into those arguments. Maybe actually feel those feelings again. Let some of those feelings surface again and kind of remember where you were. Step number 2 of the exercise is I want you to look at each one of those arguments, each one of those friction points, and then I want you to argue it back from your ex's perspective or from your partner's perspective if you're in an active relationship now. Argue this back. Try and really see their side of this argument and argue it back to yourself. Okay? Don't take your side, take their side for this one. This is an exercise they never need to know about this. You don't need to talk about this. But take their side of the of the argument and argue back to yourself what they feel, and actually feel what they feel, and actually try and make their feelings your own. Actually feel those things. Okay? And then step 3 of the exercise is I want you to write up a game plan of, were this to come up again, how would you handle it differently? Maybe make a note of how you handled it, but then how would you handle this differently? And again, take your time. You're not going to knock this out in 15 minutes. If you do, go back and start again, because you're really not doing the work. Actually take some time and really analyze your feelings and analyze your thoughts. This will help you to better understand your ex or your partner if you're with, and even if not, future relationships. It will help you when you can see someone else's point of view. I always talk about self-improvement. I always talk about working on yourself. This is a good way to work on yourself. And again, whether you do get back together with your ex or not, this will help you in future relationships. So I want you to write up a game plan of how it is. Now, I've had people tell me before, they're like, well, unless the same argument comes up, this does me no good. Wrong. This helps you, this whole exercise just helps you see things from your ex's or from your partner's perspective. And doing that, even in the middle of an argument, you can stop, run through these 3 steps real quick, just kind of look at their side of it, argue it back in your head to yourself, and maybe handle it in a little bit more amicable way. How can you handle this situation? Now, that doesn't mean you have to bend over and give in on everything, but this is something that can help you to better understand where your ex or your partner is coming from. And as arguments come up, as things come up, you will be better equipped to handle them. I've said this before, self-improvement is never a waste of time, and if you're working on yourself, things are going to get better. I promise you, whether your ex comes back or not, you'll be in a better place to attract someone even better into your life. So that's what I have for you today, folks. Again, I do apologize for being gone. I haven't been able to return emails. I haven't been able to answer a lot of the comments in the section below. Hopefully I will be in a better place to be able to do that. And again, dealing with this is not a lot of fun. But hey, it's part of life, and it's just something that I have to go through. And I've got a lot of love and support. The woman that was one time my ex is now living with me. And she's very loving and supportive, and I'm surrounded by people that love me and care about me, so I'm in very good hands. But anyway, you can send me an email. Like I said, I've been a little slow about responding to them because I've just kind of been down a little bit or under the weather here working on this stuff. I will try and respond to comments. I'm going to try and start generating some more content and get some more videos out there. Hopefully this will come back soon. I hope so, because I really do miss it. I miss the beard. I think it made me look wise. But anyway, folks, Jim Miller, helping you find and keep the love of your life and write a better love story. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you all. Goodbye.